Before I get started on this Q&A, there is one person that I left out because it's already pre-recorded, and I'm gonna go ahead and give this person a shout out because majority of the question is about this guy, and I'm talking about Mr. Griffith. Dude, you are awesome. Check his videos out, and you do have questions for me, so I'm just gonna go ahead get those questions out the way, and then get started on everybody else via YouTube because I completely forgot to go back on my Twitter page, and I did this time, so I'm going to go and answer your questions right now. Your first set of questions for me is, what do you think of Alicia Fox's new character? Personally, I love it. I hate it. Can't stand it. Still can't stand it. She's a black version of AJ Lee, and I want to end. Do you watch Agents of Shield? No, I don't. Not at all. How do you view the relationship of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon? I think Stephanie McMahon gets a hard on every time Triple H is mentioned. Like, seriously, I have never seen a woman more in love with her husband than she is with him. But I can tell that Triple H does love his wife, but Triple H just wants to be a dude. Like, seriously, that's how I see it. I think that they're a very loving couple, and I think that she really loves her husband a lot. But I think that Triple H is just usually a dude. He's just a regular dude. Um, okay. Maybe your next question for me is, do you watch TNA, and if so, what do you think of its current state? I'm not into it anymore. I literally try to get through it, but good grief, I can't. It's just not that interesting anymore. And even with MVP being there, I'm just not interested. I really don't care much about it. Um, okay, this one is a somewhat of a silly question. From the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers team, the original team that is, who would you screw? Who would you marry? And who would you kill? Um, I don't know. I really don't watch the show, but yeah, I don't. I don't. From the original, um, Zach seems like a guy that I would probably like to screw. um, I would have to say Tommy's a guy that I would probably like to marry. You would think it would be in reverse, right? That I would marry Zach and then I would end up screwing Tommy. No, it's in reverse because Tommy seems like he's a straight up cool dude. And Kill will probably be the Red Ranger. Sorry, didn't like Jason much at all. If Brock Lesnar was trying to attack you, what would your first move? What would be your first move to get away? Punch to the junk. Seriously, punch to the junk and keep on running. Um, yeah, pretty much. Punch to the junk. And final question. Do you think the WWE makes John Cena unrelatable to the people and that's why he gets booed so much? Yes. He needs to stop being a Superman and actually start being a little bit more down to earth so people can relate to him. That's why people actually do like Daniel Bryan. But they're not going to do that because they don't want to risk it. I don't know why. They actually have more people that will take over his spot than depending on him to hold the company. He's not like that anymore. I really think they should make him more human. But that's just me. But dude, great questions. And honestly, I am sorry that I let you out. But let's get started with this Q&A. Shout out to Mr. Griffin. Hello. Just washed my hair, hence why I'm wearing the rag. Guys, this is another mini Q&A. My guess is this is number 63. I could be wrong. Certain times I keep track of these things, sometimes I don't. But y'all, thanks so much for sending me these questions. And y'all sent me a good amount, so let me get started with the first set of questions from Final Limits. What do you think of Melina from Mortal Kombat? I like her. She's pretty cool. She's a very interesting character, and honestly, she's a little bit more interesting than Princess Katana. And the fact that she's like literally half, what was it? Half Edenian, which means like she's half human, or honestly, she's half dragon and half mutant creature, like half Tarkatan, which in Tarkatan is like one of my favorite races from the Mortal Kombat series. So her being half can't say it, Tarkatan and half Edenian, which is like they're dragon people, is pretty freaking cool. Like seriously, and her vitality is pretty freaking sweet. I like it. What do you think of Quan Chi from Mortal Kombat? I love Quan Chi because he is way better than Shang Tsung. The guy is like, I mean, he's pretty smart. He knows how to get around things. Plus, I think he's like the better sorcerer and I think he's the only. I mean, he's a better necromancer as well as a better sorcerer. Even though it's kind of weird for the whole necromancy thing. But either or, I think he's a better sorcerer than Shang Tsung. Um, do you wish these? Do you wish that these Mortal Kombat characters were real so they could do a fatality on Justin Bieber? I don't pay much attention to Justin Bieber, and no, that would just be weird because they would actually be here and be able to do stuff here. That would be weird. Um, did you hear that Bieber stole a lady's cell phone because she was taking pictures of him and he got angry and lunged at her purse and took her phone away, took her phone away from her and made a little girl cry. Um, Honestly, that sucks. And not only that, Justin Bieber is just completely immature. But I'm sorry, Kanye West is way far worse than Justin Bieber. Way far worse, in my opinion. At least Justin Bieber can be shut up. You can't shut up Kanye. Seriously, I want to see somebody try to shut up Kanye. But but yeah, he's Kanye West is a way bigger jerk than Justin Bieber. Why do you not like Kanye? Because the guy thinks he's Jesus. Nuff said. He thinks he's a freaking god. Not only that, he's just way too annoying. Don't get me wrong. Back in the day, during his college dropout days, he made some great music. And he had a lot of hunger trying to be a great artist. I appreciate that. But when you think that you're a god and you should be worshipped as one and you're better than anybody else, go somewhere with that nonsense. Seriously, Kanye West is crazy. Enough said. he needs help in the worst way. I'm not a Kanye West fan. I'm not at all. Enough said. um, and I'm not gonna answer any more racist questions because I'm tired of hearing them. But thanks so much for answering those questions. Final limits. Our next set comes from Ronzo. What if the WWE allowed monster superstars to be in the next Mortal Kombat game, and WWE made a deal with the company of MK Games, and I think that's NetherRealm. I think that's NetherRealm Games. I think that's what it is. NetherRealm. They actually used to be Midway, but anyway, with MK Games, which they added these superstars. Okay, what if they made a deal with the company of MK Games? What if they added these superstars? Kane, from the Attitude Era version, Undertaker of the Ministry of Darkness version, and Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar. What do you think their fatality would be? Oh, good one, dude. Oh wow. Kane would probably be maybe the choke slam to hell. The Undertaker would probably do a tombstone that would, like, I don't know, make your head crack to where it'd be a splat on the ground. He'll do the ultimate tombstone power driver, while Kane would do the choke slam to hell. Brock Lesnar would do like the F5 to where he'll spin you around, you'll break into pieces. And Bray Wyatt, oh gosh, he'll probably do something creepy with that Voldo backbend that he does and crawl towards you. It all goes dark, and then you turn it back on. You're all in pieces. Like, seriously, I can just imagine that. That will probably be Bray Wyatt's fatality. But that's a good one, man. What if Cena and all the top baby faces win the Mortal Kombat game? What will their fatalities be? Oh gosh, baby faces will have the suckiest fatalities ever. I can't think of all the baby faces, but for John Cena, an STF until your neck breaks off. Like, he'll probably pull a Kratos. Well, when he does like the STF, and when he pulls your face back, he'll probably pull your neck off so hard to where your neck just literally just breaks off and rips. That's the only thing I can think of. He'll probably like maybe pull a scorpion. But yeah, great question, man. Great question. And I am a Mortal Kombat fan, but yeah, great question. Um, will Cena ever, and I mean ever, turn heel? No. That answers it. What if Laura Croft from Tomb Raider was in the next MK game as a DLC? What would her fatality be? Gunshot to the mouth. Shotgun to the mouth. Only thing I can think of. But Yeah, great question, man. Really great questions. My next set of questions comes from Nintendo Fanboy 1988. Have you ever watched Captain America, the film that came out in theaters? I tried to get into Captain America, but it was so boring and it took so long to get to the point. I just couldn't I couldn't get into it. I'm sorry. The first Captain America. But the first Captain America was so bad to me, I really wasn't interested in seeing Winter Soldier. But now I'm actually hearing that Winter Soldier was a really great movie, so now I might go and see it. Or I might wait until it comes out on DVD. But either or, I heard it was awesome, and I might see it. How did you react when you found out that the Yellow Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series died in a car accident? I found out about this from Mr. Griffin. Mr. Griffith is probably the biggest Mighty Morphin Power Ranger fan that I've ever met in my life, and he told me about it, and I was shocked. I still am shocked to know that the Yellow Ranger's gone. Seriously, it really did shock me, and it makes me really sad too, because I liked her. I really did. What is your top five Disney Channel original movies and why? Um, okay, I have to say all three High School Musicals because I like High School Musical. It's actually the most innovative, creative show of its time, and honestly, without High School Musical, there will be no Glee. And that movie was way better than Glee. Seriously, way better. But my next movie that I'll actually like, um, I have to say I like Lizzie McGuire. I like the Lizzie McGuire movie because it kind of put a conclusion on what we really wanted to see. Kinda, not fully, of what we wanted to see between Lizzie and Gordo. So it makes me really happy to see that. I was a huge fan. And Halloween Town. Halloween Town was really awesome movie. And also the sequel and the trilogy wasn't bad. The first one was awesome. The second one was pretty cool because they had the same actress, and then they kind of switched it up in the third one. And I actually like Halloween Town. It's one of my favorite movies to actually watch during Halloween. So I think I gave you five. I probably gave you more than that, but yeah, those are my favorite original ones so far. But yeah, great question, man. Really great question. Um, ever watch Drake and Josh? I tried. I couldn't get into it, but I think my homegirl Tama Girl is really into it. Um, are there any game series that you haven't played yet you want to start playing? I've never played God of War because I don't have a PS3 or a PS4. But honestly, I'm kind of curious about playing God of War. I have not played Halo 4 yet. I played like Halo 4 maybe in tidbits, but I haven't really played the entire game because I don't have the entire game. My sister does. And honestly, I'm kind of curious to see how Halo 5 will turn out, but that'll probably be in the next few months. And I have to get a Xbox One to get it, and I don't have one yet. But but yeah, there are several ones that I really want to try. But yeah, and I'm kind of on a Mario kick for some reason. I'm kind of on a Mario kick. I love anything Sonic, and right now I'm playing Sonic Dash on my tablet. But seriously, it's yeah, I'm kind of on a for some strange reason I'm kind of on a Mario kick. I don't know why. Um, well, moving on from there, what games do you have today that you had when you were a kid and you still played this to this day? I still have my original Genesis. I have my original Nintendo. I just cannot find Super Mario 3. I can't find it. That's one of my favorite games ever to play on Nintendo. And I can't really find the parts to my Nintendo, let alone the actual game. I have Super Mario 2, but I'm not really all that into it. I have Super Mario 1, and after playing Super Mario 1 on and my homeboy Russ gave me a Game Boy for my birthday, and after playing that game, I realized, dang, nabbit, I must have been good back in the day because that really, I suck at it now. And I also played pretty much three or four of the original Sonic games. I played, no, I played Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, all on, well, I played three Sonic games, all in the original Genesis, and dang, it was hard. I mean, I'm telling you, that was a really hard game to play, especially Sonic and Knuckles. When you actually have to get all the Chaos Emeralds and all the Super Emeralds, is hard. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up with those balls. But anyway, those are the games that I actually still have and I still play occasionally when I'm like in a retro fix. When I need to get my retro fix on. What is your next question for me? what was the first Mortal Kombat game you ever played, and what was it about Mortal Kombat games that made you fall in love with the series? Um, the first one I played was the original Mortal Kombat, and I didn't have it. Like I didn't really have it at for my own because my mom didn't necessarily like the fact that it was so violent. So my homegirl Kim, one of my best friends as a child at the time, she had it on her Sega Genesis, and when we played it, I think it was a Genesis, but it was a code you had to put in to get blood, and that's what really made it cool was the fact that the Super Nintendo version didn't have blood, while the Sega version actually had blood, and that when I played it, I just loved it. But I love the lore behind it, and I want it to be more storyline, like I want it to be like more of a storyline behind it because it had a really interesting story. But then as Mortal Kombat 2 came around, the fatalities were more awesome. The arcade was spectacular, and that's what I loved about it was the arcade version. And then I ended up playing that, and I really want to do the fatalities so bad, but I couldn't figure it out. And back in the day, they didn't really have internet. Like they didn't really have websites that often. You were just now getting into internet when it first came out. They didn't really have internet cheats yet, but you had to figure out how to do it. And when you finally saw somebody spontaneously pop up with a dragon when they were Liu Kang, you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta have this game. And I really got into it because of how cool it looked. It was like literally live fighters. It was a live action kind of game. And with real people, it made it look cool. Plus, the storyline behind it looked awesome. And I really loved the whole Mortal Kombat lore, and it also made me fall in love with it even more. And I just love the series. I really do. And Baraka will always be my favorite character to play. Seriously, straight up. Um, are there any Mortal Are there any Mortal Kombat characters that straight up creeps you out? Um, Draman. Draman kind of creeps me out a bit because Draman is supposed to be, and he's supposed to be a demon, but he has that hockey mask, and he just has flies surrounding him, and literally, it's just his one of his projectiles he throws at you is flies. It's weird. Draman and Moloch, and Moloch is the eyes. Like his eyes completely glow, and it looks straight up creepy, like really weird. But Meat is also really weird to play with Meat because Meat is just all he is one big bucket of blood. It's just really ugh. It's really absolutely positively creepy. But I will say that Mortal Kombat 9 really did so well with their characters and how they reshaped them and reformed them and everything. But I have to say that Moloch and Draman are one of the weirdest. I'm sorry, they are seriously one of the weirdest. No, and also no, Havoc is the creepiest by far. He's supposed to be a cleric, and the guy can literally turn his head backwards in a 360, as well as bend his. He can literally bend his back and arms and every other which way, and his projectile is shot where his shins are behind him. It's weird. He is a strange guy. But honestly, I still love the game. I absolutely love it. If you were in Mortal Kombat, what would your fatality be? Um, Probably a punch to the gut, and then some kind of energy comes out of my hand and you explode. Like maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Um, or like I summon a whole bunch of crows and they like peck you to death. Since I'm the nature girl, hey, summon some crows and they peck you to death. Maybe that's what it'll be. Would you date fellow black companion Mr. Griffin? um, I don't know him. I've never met him, but I know that he's a cool guy. I don't know if he's in a relationship or not, but he's an all around cool guy, and I definitely have a lot of respect for him. But I don't know him, so I can't really say that I would date him. But he seemed like a pretty he's a pretty handsome guy with a well build. I'm not gonna lie, he has a really nice build. But he's in Virginia while I'm here in South Carolina. I'm a little bit further south from him. But honestly, the guy is pretty cool. But if I met him and had a chance to get to know him, I don't know, maybe. He's a pretty cool dude. Um, a great question, man. My next set of questions comes from Cornella Ranella. What if John Cena came out in a match in the main event with his opponent coming out first, and then Cena comes out high and drunk beyond belief? How would Vince and all the fans' live reaction to that? Nobody wants to see their lead guy drunk and high. It would be number one. Vince will probably know before he goes out on stage. I don't think that anybody will allow that to happen. And I know that he can bench press 500 plus, but he will not allow that to happen. Seriously, he wouldn't. And a lot of people would be shocked, especially the smaller ones of the T Nation. But that's something I would not expect him to do. What five superstars or divas would you sleep with? None, really. Seriously, I really wouldn't sleep with any of them. That's just me. My last set of questions comes from Kazuya Mishima. I hope I pronounced that right. Have you ever read Goosebumps or read any of the books? No. It's been actually I have. I think I have, but it's been years, and I can't really remember the title. But yeah, I've seen the series. I saw the series on television years ago. But I know that my homegirl actually had Goosebumps series, and I think I read a few, but it's been so long I can't really remember the title. Ever watched Are You Afraid of the Dark? Oh yes. Oh my gosh. There were genuinely shows like episodes on Are You Afraid of the Dark that literally gave me nightmares. It was that creepy sometimes. It was worse than Twilight Zone. It was kind of a mix between Twilight Zone and Tales from the Crypt, only the kid version. But honestly, yeah, it genuinely creeped me out. Ever watch Hey Arnold? I love Hey Arnold. I love Hey Arnold, especially when Arnold finally got with Helga, and I love that. He married Helga in the future, and they showed that episode. I love that because they have the most in common. Even though she beats up on him, she's like really in love with the guy, and I loved it. I really did. I loved every bit of it, and it made me so happy to see that happen in the end. But it didn't end that way for a long time. They went out on their first date, but he had no idea who she was. That just broke my heart. Thoughts on Jennifer Lawrence? I like Jennifer Lawrence. I think she's a pretty cool, down to earth chick. That's just me. Um, Thoughts on Shailene Woodley? I have no idea who Shailene Woodley is, but that's somebody I'm going to look up. Thoughts on Mr. Griffin and his videos and the way that he yells at the top of his lungs? Mr. Griffin is very passionate about the videos that he makes, and I have a lot of respect for the guy about that. He has no problem at all in saying how he feels about a certain topic, whether or not he gets overheated with it. Well, I mean, whether he gets a little bit too overzealous, over passionate about it. He just says how he feels, and I respect somebody like that. But guys, those are my questions. Thank you so much for sending me questions, and keep sending them to me. And honestly, y'all, if you have any more questions for me, send them down in my YouTube inbox or on via Twitter at RK30 hashtag Nature Girl Q&A. Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out.